Wow, look at that. You can get blue death.
Today is
Diesel exhaust from the
day.
At the Commercial Fueling Network.
Everybody, it's me again, Russ, here in Vicky the van. I took a job as a utility worker. Well, I didn't take the job yet. I'm in training. So this week has been a boot camp of training to work for a major utility here in the Seattle area. So yeah, I didn't take the job at Walmart. It just didn't pay enough. And they didn't get back to me, right? Like, go take your drug test, right? You gotta go pee in a cup. Well, where am I supposed to do that? We don't know. Here, call this phone number. It was just super unorganized. It took like 3 weeks for my background check, and then they called me. So yeah, I didn't. And it was like $3.50 less an hour than I'm getting paid to. Well, I'm getting paid for training right now, and we'll see how this goes. I'm a little, to be honest. Like yesterday, it was sort of a bait and switch, right? So I come down here, I agree to training, and the district manager, whoever he was, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, this project will probably be done in a year, and then you're gonna have to commute, to a different area. So most of the work right now is in where I live. It's up in Snohomish County, North Puget Sound. Right now I'm in Kent, so it took me an hour to drive old Vicky down here to come to this training. I've been doing this all week. Today's Thursday. We give you a truck and a gas card, which is great, right? That's cool, but we're not getting paid for commuter time. So while I'm commuting to work an hour each way, a year from now, that's, or more. Like, traffic around here is really bad. I am at the opposite side of Puget Sound. So I drove from my place past Seattle, and here I am in Kent, Washington. This is like one of the largest industrial parks in the on the West Coast, actually. So yeah, I'm in training. We'll see how this goes. I'm not super excited about this job so far, so we'll see. I mean, the money's good. It's like a $700 signing bonus if I stick around for 3 months. If I hit numbers, and that's another thing. You hit numbers, you get an extra $1 an hour, and then I find only about 20% of people are hitting numbers. Found out that yesterday, so that was another kind of felt like a bait and switch. Oh yeah, it's easy, and well, if only 20% of people are doing it, is it that easy? So, yeah, more to come. Utility worker, Russ Shaw, possibly. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So it's the old school technology that works the sensor for the new school technology. That little guy, magnets, goes right on there, like that. Interesting. Antenna. Hey everybody, I'm back. It's the next day. Yes, it's the next day, and I'm feeling a little more positive now. First of all, and I'm not usually a quitter, but I did 7 tests, 7 of them, which means each test was 100 of these. So I had to read 100 meters per test, and that takes around an hour or more. And my instructor was like, I'd rather you take your time and take an hour or 2 to do a test than get one answer wrong. So yeah, no pressure. But I'm dyslexic. So everyone else had moved through this part, and had passed the meter reading, and there I am at the end of Thursday, still trying to read meters and not making much progress. All the while I'm doing these tests, there's this alarm going off, and it was like if you think about a printer that's low on ink or something, or needs more paper, that's what it sounded like. And I guess it was a fire alarm thing, which was weird. And they said the guy couldn't come out and turn it off till like next Friday or something. So trying to concentrate and hearing this dull beep, beep, beep all day long trying to take this test was just even more nerve-wracking. And the instructor, fairly so, said, hey, you're going to be doing this job with dogs barking in the background and other noises. So similarly, it's, so I was just out. Coupled with the bait and switch, I felt like, I was just done. I wasn't doing that anymore. I wasn't going to read any more meters. I just bowed out and decided I am not cut out for utility work. I mean, the money they were throwing around sounded good, but, I started deviating away from one of the things I told myself about, working. I talked about that. I posted a video in my vlog stuff a while back. What does it mean to have a work ethic? What does it mean to be a servant, right? In society, in culture, being a working class person, some of the integrity and character around that. Like, I'm interested in thinking on that. And I also believe that people have certain gifts and passions and things. And, I just looked at, putting new tech on utility meters and reading the meters, which my dyslexic brain wasn't real good at. I did that all day long, and I was like, no, this isn't for me. I'm not doing that. Not to mention working outside in the weather around here. I mean, again, I was so focused on the money and the bonuses, and that was another bait and switch thing that I found out about the company, is that they've hired like 45 people in April. So they got 45 people out there doing this, and 25% of them roughly are hitting the bonus numbers, the incentive numbers that they're throwing out there as, hey, you can make this. So that was the thing too. But just, I don't want to do misery business for money. Okay? I have a passion for cars. I'm going back to cars. I saw this car at the gas station while I was in this training process with the utility company, and I thought, that's a sweet Mustang, And then I'm like, oh yeah, there was that Ford dealer who was interested in me working there. So stay tuned. Let's see. Like, what does it mean to develop character, integrity, and passion in what you do? Integrity for me, like again, we get into language, right? Like, language is a weird way to communicate, because people take a word like integrity and think it means, I don't know, perfection or being really good at something. It doesn't mean that. What integrity is, and I learned this working in a machine shop, certain kinds of metal have different integrity. What you're made of, you see when you get into doing a thing, all right? Whether you like something or not, some people may think they're passionate about singing, for example. Like, I'd love to be a singer, and then they go on a show like American Idol, and the British person rips them to shreds, right? Maybe that's a bad analogy, because you can get good at singing if you have a good coach and things like that. But there's some people, some people go to that show and they audition numerous times, and it takes a while for someone to just go, listen, maybe singing's not your thing, maybe it's just not. And that's okay. I think there's a lot of things like that in life. So that's something that I am putting in my own emotional, psychological toolbox to remember about how I'm going to live this life and what I do to serve my community, right? My country, my with my gifts and talents and abilities, my passions, that kind of thing. So, yeah, worker bee. What am I going to do? Utility work? I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. Would I get hired at a dealer rather than a Pep Boys or a Walmart for service, right? Stay tuned.
Don't forget to subscribe, and why not watch another video? Stick around!